your network is your net worth in this industry. You know, it's who you know. You could be talent helps, but if you work hard, talent doesn't. It doesn't matter. If you're a hard worker and you're getting things done, then you're gonna be bigger than the talented person that created good music. You know.
Darmon, thank you for being here today. I know you're really busy. You have a lot of things coming, and you're going to talk about it. But thank you for being here with me. I'm really happy to share this moment with you. Because before being an amazing music producer and an amazing DJ, you're also a friend. So thank you for being here today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Well, of course. And for the people who doesn't know out there, can you please introduce yourself the way you want?
Yeah, sure. My name is Darmon, like you said. I'm a music producer for many years, since I'm about 14 years old. 14? Wow. 13. Yeah, I have a lot of passion for music. I do it for absolutely fun. And it's some sort of a business in a way. I mean, it's a business at the end of the day. And yeah, this is my thing. It's absolutely my thing.
And how did you start your career? Like, what brings you here?
So what brings me here is basically when I was 12 or around that age, my dad used to own a club.
Wow, okay.
Back in the day, yeah. And that club needed a house DJ, like a resident DJ. And actually, my older brother, which is Aaron Hirsch, he's started playing at the club. And I did my birthday there when I was a kid with my whole class, you know, like we all went there. And I saw Aaron, you know, like playing with the music and everything. And at some point as he went and played and stuff in the house, in the room, I started, so he had these Techniques vinyls.
Cool.
And
MK2?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I was so young. And I started going and touching them and so, and he used to get so mad. So used to get the little
Brother's
brother.
issue, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And at some point, I realized that I was his baby and stuff. And what I did was at 13 or 14, I downloaded. It's funny. It's a video game. It's called EJ.
EJ?
EJ, and
It's a DJ game?
Yeah, it's like a program.
Okay.
And you get these little boxes of sounds, and you just put them together, and it's
Okay.
like a game. So I just started, you know, doing that because I was always curious how music was made. You know, back in the day, trance was the thing, and I loved it. And I was always curious of how they made these sounds, and it was always beautiful to me, you know. So I get on the program, started playing, and next thing you know, I downloaded FL Studio.
Oh, Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops.
I think all the DJ of our generation start with this program.
I didn't want to say the name, you know. It's Fruity Loops sounds funny, but FL Studio, yeah. And after that, it got so addictive that I couldn't stop.
It's so organic.
Yeah, so
It's so easy to build music with
and
with
then
FL.
it ruined my life because I was literally on the computer 24/7 trying to create and create and create. And then I found later down the road, believe 2-3 years later, I got into Ableton. That's when things became more serious.
That's a really good indicator when your vision start to narrow, when you start to focus and you start to spend like 24 hours on your computer. It's like we said, perhaps you should follow this path, right?
Well, as you spend so much time and you get addicted, what happens is you can't stop. So you just get more into it. It really is like a crazy rabbit hole to go. Becoming a producer is like a music producer. It's a lot of hours, a lot of work, so many things. I always learn till this day. There's
Mhm.
always things that are coming up, new technologies, new this, new that. So as I went into production, you kind of can't get out of it. You really can't. It's so addictive, and it does take a lot of your life. Like it sucks you into this bubble of things because I just couldn't stop,
That's
which is
amazing.
great. You know.
And what was your major music influence? Like we all grew up with perhaps with this kind of music or with those DJs you want to follow, you want to be one day. So
So the thing is, because I was a producer, I didn't necessarily have a one guy that I was like, wow. It was just always I listened to a bunch of music, different genres. It was never one specific, and it always changes. Like if you like that guy, it always like, oh, the next year this guy is like over, and then there's a new, inspiration. As a producer, I think Luciano is a really good,
I love it.
inspiring producer. Right, he's genius. Um, production, production wise, DJ as well, master, legendary. Um, but there is a lot of guys that are just crushing it right now,
I love
production
how
wise.
Luciano drives his crowd, the energy
Yeah,
he
yeah,
put
it's
when he
massive,
plays,
massive.
legend,
Yeah, absolutely.
legend. So now you're a big producer, but you're producing with Ableton, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And you are like, I heard that you really, really, you know your shit.
I know Ableton very well. Yeah, that's true. That's my go-to program. So imagine like about 10 years nonstop using that program. It's obviously updating all the time, but you get to understand. They always bring new things, but the core base of it is the same. So I know a lot about Ableton. Yeah.
And does Ableton have an influence on your creative process? Because I know, for example, I used to produce on Logic,
Hmm.
and I know that because of how Logic is made, it changed my creativity, sorry, process. So does
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah. So obviously Ableton is very quick. I work very fast. So like all the shortcuts, I'm sure Logic has the same type of shortcuts. You have to like
yeah,
know them really well. Workflow wise, Ableton's one of the fastest programs. Logic Sound Engine
yeah.
just sounds so good. It's almost Ableton Sound Engine isn't there yet. It's a known thing in the production world. Um, I I can't work with Logic just because of the workflow. There's
I've
a
heard
big difference.
I've heard that there is okay creativity. It's Ableton, mixing is Pro Tools, mastering is Logic.
So
Kind of, right? No?
you could do with Logic. I would do mixing.
Okay.
Yeah, Pro Tools more for recording.
Okay.
Artists, singers, everything. Track vocals. Um, for mixing, I would definitely use Logic, 100%. So I do have a process that kind of goes through creative process, Ableton, mixing, Logic, mastering, a whole different studio. You want to run it by external hardware, things like that, to make the sound.
Yeah, fat.
Yeah,
Like we like it.
yeah.
Okay, on your creative process. So, how do you, when you show up with an idea, okay, you have this idea in your head, how it become a track? So, what is your creative process?
Okay, so good question, because I'll tell you what, it all depends. With me, I do not have a schedule, which is not the best thing. I would say, like, to a new producer, like, have a schedule, like 9 to 5, work, music, go home, sleep, whatever it is. But I don't have that. My music studio is literally in a bedroom in my house.
Okay.
And as I go about my day, I'll get an idea, and I'll just, even if it's 3 a.m., I'll be like, okay, I gotta go to the studio. I put it down, and then next day, if it's a good idea, I'll continue working on it if it's a bad idea. Most of the time it's bad. So
You
it's
true, you have like 1,000 tracks on a folder that you're never gonna release.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's a lot. I have a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there now? Okay, so you start producing before DJing, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what brings you to DJ? So because you want to test your production, or because it's another subject you want to explore?
So obviously you want to be able to share your music, right? So you make music. You nowadays, well, back in the day when I started producing, it wasn't like now you stream and all that stuff. It was CDs. Like when I became a DJ, I had to like I
Yeah.
had folders this big. So I wanted to share it with people, you know. So I thought the best ways because it wasn't easy to release a song and have it out for the world. So the best way for a new producer artist is to go to a club and to showcase and interact with the fans that actually will like your music. So that's how you build a fan base, right?
Yeah.
So you see if the people that come to see you are actually there for you or for the club, you know. So it's like it's tricky. So I became a DJ from making music,
That's great.
you know. So
Is there, do you have in mind or in memory a specific event or a specific gig when you know, okay, I want to do this job for a living?
okay, so I think I was 17,
Okay,
and
so minor.
yes, so minor. It's funny because I played my first show at a club in Hard Rock, Florida.
Okay.
Hard Rock Cafe is the one, Fort Lauderdale, right? I played my first show at a place called Pangea because Aaron had put me there with him, and that's when I knew it was a terrible set. I practiced, but still, like with first time full club, I'm 17. You know, like I butchered that mix for the first couple mixes. Then it got better. It was one of my favorite moments, but and then I knew I was like, wow, I love this. This is such a good like fun life, you know? Like
Yeah.
you go up, you play, everybody's attention's not on you. I'm not the most guy. I don't love attention as much as some people do, but it's fun. You know, it's fun when you play. You get the adrenaline. That's the night I was like, okay,
This is it.
this is my thing. You know.
On your process before going on a gig, how do you choose? Well, of course, except your own production, but how do you choose the music you're gonna play? So first, are you choosing the music you're gonna play, or are you going like without parachute?
Okay, it depends. Sometimes I just go and wing it.
Okay.
It depends on the night. If it's like a big opening night for someone big, I'd prepare music because I don't want to step on anybody's toes, right? But if it's my night, most of the time I wing it. Most of the time. Probably 80-90% of the time I just come on.
You go with the flow.
I have my folders ready. I know where to go. The way I choose music is I go through thousands of music, like thousands of tracks per day.
Wow.
And it's I would say out of 10,000 songs, I could pick 10.
And this is also a subject I want to explore with you because a lot of people don't understand that the work of a DJ, when he perform, this is only the visible face of the iceberg, because during the day there is a lot of research, a lot of music you listen, a lot of time in a studio, a lot of time creating the process of creativity. There is a lot of things on the background. Basically, there is more work during the day, right?
Yeah, like nobody sees that.
Nobody
People just
sees that.
think you come and you put the USB and
Yeah.
you press
Hey,
buttons.
hello,
You know?
I'm coming, I'm playing, I'm the star. And
Yeah, but they don't see the process behind
100%.
the whole, the whole thing. So before you get to the club, for me, I sit down for hours, preparing music, finding what I like. Finding what you like is, sorry, is one of the hardest things because out of so much music out there, so many genres. You have to specifically find the songs that you want to play in your set, because if it doesn't match, you're not playing them. So it takes me hours and hours. For instance, a couple of weeks ago, I played, and it was an important show, and I would sit for 3 days
Wow.
or 4 days, during that week before the gig, and I would just search for music hourly. Throughout the day, all day. I do not leave my computer.
And also, when you arrive to this level of headliners and everything, you want to be the only one who plays this track. You want to be have the
Correct.
freshness.
Yeah, yeah, this is a major thing. There's always good music that you could still play, classics, things like that you probably want to drop in your set, right? But playing the new thing has become like such a exclusive part of a DJ. Because then again, you could play what everybody plays, and it doesn't make you like the special thing. And for me, it is important to find unreleased music. But then again, it became such a big thing. Now everybody's like trying to look for that song that nobody has, and it just like created another bubble in the scene. That
It's such a bubble. Like I feel like some producer unreleased some track on purpose to have this kind of
This is
trendy
I do this.
unreleased.
Yeah, I do this.
This is a very good strategy, man. This is brilliant.
It is, yeah. But then again, you have so for instance, I did some edits and somebody got a hold of it, and now they're like literally selling my music behind the scenes. I'm like, what? Like, how did you even get this? So it's just a big thing.
I would like to also go on one of your track, the track you've made with Madonna. How are the process behind this track? Like this is such a hit, and I'm pretty sure that there is a lot of producers out there who would like to know, like, okay, how you arrive to this level.
So that particular record was made so fast that
This is
usually like
crazy.
it's the process of that one was basically we got the idea and we were just like, oh, let's mess around with it and play it out, at the clubs and things like that. Because, it's almost impossible to get someone like Madonna to release something like that. You could go for licensing and things like that, but, to have her a part of the record was
Huge.
huge, huge. So we just made within probably a day or two the idea, and we just started playing it, testing it out. And every single time we played this song in the set, every single time, it was the highlight of the night. Like I remember playing like 2 years ago, because we made it like about 2 years ago, and every time I dropped the track, it was just like game over. I couldn't even play a different track after that because it was so good, and we knew we had something right away. We were saying we're like, we have something huge here, and Blondish's team reached out and created this whole like engagement with Madonna's team, and they liked it,
That's amazing.
and I was like, holy, like this is where
It's happening.
worked. Yeah, like you work your whole life, you don't even imagine that you're gonna do something with Madonna. That's like a whole different league level.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, and and it happened that Blondish got it to work out. Like it was insane. I couldn't even believe it.
That's insane. Okay, now I want to jump to another subject because you used to play festival, nightclubs, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more focused in the music in a hospitality business, and now the trend is to have like DJ in like festive restaurant dinner parties and everything. So I know you experienced to that too. So I would like to know, what is your relationship to that kind of gig? How you when you arrive to the location, is it different? And how, if yes, how is it different in a good or in a bad way? And how you drive the night?
So the way I see it is that, yeah, festivals and clubs are completely different than a
Yeah.
supper club, right? Supper clubs are more comfortable to sit down, have a dinner, food, and then it turns into a party. So you're already like, you don't go to the dinner and then to the club. You're there.
Yeah.
You're not moving. You're there throughout the whole night. So it's more comfortable for a person, I feel like, to be there and not move around. I'm the type that doesn't like to move around. Some people like to jump clubs or parties, whatever it is. I like to stay at one place. So I think that supper clubs are much more comfortable, and it's a whole different scene than a real club. And also in a real club, you play differently. You dish out different sets. Like m- supper clubs is more like a happy, like a good vibe. You could go dark in clubs. Like if I'm playing from 3 a.m. to 6, I'm going to play a completely different set than I'm playing at a
Definitely.
supper club, right? So it is a different experience. And I think it's very fun to play at a supper club for sure. So to me, that's the major difference. To everybody, it's a big difference.
And I feel like not all the DJs are able to play I mean, have the talent to play in super club. Let me explain myself. When a DJ is going to play in a nightclub, you have this unconditional agreement with the crowd and the DJ. The crowd are here to dance and to party, and the DJ are here to provide the music, right? But when you play on a super club, the crowd arrive here at on the first position to eat.
Hmm.
So the DJ have to bring first the crowd into his universe and then make them dance.
Correct.
So I feel like it's a little bit more challenging for the DJ, but also spicy. I like the fact that
Yeah, you definitely. It's got a skill of its own for sure.
yeah,
You have to know what you're doing in order to get everybody into the dance floor. They're not there because it's a club. They're there because it's a restaurant.
I have an
So,
analogy when I'm with DJs on the super club and I train them. I say, okay, listen, imagine the crowd on a super club is like a first date. Okay, if on a first date you tell the person in front of you, "Oh, tonight we're gonna have sex," straight right away, you're gonna get slapped on your face.
mhm.
So this is the same way that playing loud and heavy music. So it's a seduction part,
Yeah,
you
you
know?
gotta bring them in. You gotta know how
Exactly.
to like
Exactly.
draw the crowd, 100%. But I think that it's like every night, in the club as well. You have your like DJ that opens. I think that's a major role of the opener, because if they don't play right, and they go take it to another level, let's say they go too hard, or they could ruin the night.
100%.
I've been there, seen it, and it just the opener has the most important part, I think, of the night, because as a headliner, anybody can come and just bang it out, you know. But openers need to know how to play and kind of get the crowd, like seduce them to come and dance and create a kind of like a story,
100%.
you know.
And there have to be the bridge between the artist, the brand of the artist, and the brand is playing
Correct.
for.
Yeah, of
So
course.
um, I would like to know if for you the market of the super club change the electronic music industry. Do you think or no?
So I believe that from the pandemic, what happened was like the Afro house, organic house, those type of like genres that are kind of like spiritual and things like that came to the market. The festivals turned into a like an outdoor, cool Tulum-ish. Like
Yeah, yeah.
everybody was kind of like doing that same type of thing, and it kind of that music worked with the supper clubs. So I think that in one sense it's like being at the right place, right time with the supper club stuff, and they started become exploding because that music worked in the supper clubs.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what I believe that happened, and now you between being comfortable eating, drinking your alcohol, and partying at the same time, I think those are more comfortable than going to a straight rave club and not eating the whole night, you know? So it's like it's
100%.
that's what I like about supper clubs.
Me too. I love this format. I love having like a lone inclusive things, you know. I
Yeah.
can have a before, a restaurant, a nightclub on the same place. 2 a.m. you go and you're in bed, you had a good party.
Correct.
And more generally, how do you feel the music industry is evolving? Like in which way? Because now we know it's all about canned music, kind of, right? But I
Yeah.
think is this trend is start to getting a bit. It's like to start to dead
To die
to die. Sorry, yeah,
or kind of go down.
Yeah.
It just what happens with music is that when one style does good, everybody starts jumping on it, right? And once everybody starts jumping on it, they start copying. And once everybody starts copying, there becomes again like this bubble where everything starts sounding the same. And now everybody's playing the same, everything started sounding the same. What do? You know, there's no inspiration, nobody coming out with new things. And this is why I have thousands of projects and I'm not releasing them in the music scene, you know? So to me that's a big problem cuz nobody's being creative now. So everybody wants to be on the kind music set. So they're kind of like making the same. It's funny because Rampa posted on his Instagram saying that like send me music that doesn't sound like kind music, you know? So I started laughing.
because basically, when everybody's copying them, is bad for them. Like they are not unique anymore.
Yeah, so it becomes where everybody's just playing the same thing, you know? They're the trendsetters, they're kind music, they can play what they want, but whoever just like kind of like goes in that trend is not unique. So you could ride the wave, you could play in some clubs, but I feel like you're never going to be where you want to be. Like to be where you want to be, you have to create your own
Yeah.
unique style. You have to be different, you know? So this is where I'm struggling right now to see what's going on in the scene because it's a big issue. It's a major issue.
Talking about challenges, what are the biggest challenges now you're facing in the music industry? In the shoes of a music producer, a DJ, like what are the big challenge actually for you now?
So a big challenge is what we just spoke about, saying that you know there's a trend happening and everybody jumps on it. So that kind of creates this thing where I'm not inspired, and I have those moments in life where I'm just like, okay, I gotta analyze the scene. Why is everybody doing the same thing? And then I try to, it's either I get uninspired and I start creating new things. Maybe they're good, maybe they're bad, but if you don't try, you don't succeed. It's a big issue in the industry and very challenging. So as a music producer, I highly believe that it's a big problem. And other things like when you become on a certain level, you have to start picking out the right team. Okay?
Wow, yeah.
And if you don't have the right team with you, then you're not going to grow as a artist. You're just going to stay where you are. You can't do everything. You can't do social media, music production, what contracts, you know, dealing with
Bookings.
people, bookings, impossible.
And,
You-
those are different jobs,
Yeah, yeah.
different knowledge, and
Yeah, like artwork, content, you know, like it's draining. It's hard. As a producer, if you do all that by yourself, you can't live your life because you find yourself doing literally everything. You take your time out of your personal life, you know, like you have no time for nothing. So you literally have to live that 24/7 and it's impossible,
yeah,
you know.
100%. And
That's a big
and it impact your creativity a lot because when you spending a lot of time of okay, I have to do this picture for my Instagram. I have to do this artwork. And if you're doing that all by yourself, all by yourself, then you don't have time. You don't have space in your mind to for the creativity to produce your art, basically.
Correct. So that whole aspect of the business takes away most of the artistic side of it. So you don't want to deal as an artist. I don't want to deal with reading contracts, doing
Yeah.
this. So now you have to start hiring a lawyer, manager, uh, like a serious team. So this is a big challenge. A lot of people think you're gonna start being a DJ, and oh, you're just gonna play at the biggest festivals, but nothing else surrounds the actual business side of it. So you just think USB DJ, go home. No, it does not work like that.
And yes, there is a big part. It's a networking too. So after all those of these aspects, then you have to go out, shaking hands, meet club owners, meet festival organizers.
So your network is your net worth in this industry. It's who you know. You could be talent helps, but if you work hard, talent doesn't. It doesn't matter. If you're a hard worker and you're getting things done, then you're gonna be bigger than the talented person that created good music.
I feel like you have some stage to reach. So first, you have to know how to produce. First stage.
Mhm.
Then you have to know how to communicate about yourself and to tell yourself. Second stage. Then third stage, you have to know how to build a team around you who's
Mhm.
going to bring you to the next level. And this is really, really important about what you're saying right now. Is like building an ecosystem, the right team with the right people around
That
you.
works together.
Especially about management, because I know that managers, everybody's saying around in a business that, oh, I can be a manager, but it's a real job.
Mhm.
What is your relationship about having and finding a manager? I know, yeah, you are perhaps, or you've been through this process. So for you, what a good manager is?
A good manager is someone that's gonna live, breathe, eat, everything surrounded on you. Like you're his product. He's gonna take you to the next level. He's gonna sell the crap out of you. This is what a good manager does in order to bring you to the next level. You understand? So if you find a good, like a good sales person that could only speak about you, talk about you sell you to the clubs, and you have the right production and image, then you're gonna be in the next level, guaranteed. You know.
I have a friend who just sent me the same message and the same text every day to remind me something. Oh, a picture.
Mm-hmm.
A friend is also coming really often to my place, and I always leave the lights open and always takes a picture of the room with the lights open. Just send me the pics every day. And because it's repetitive and confront yourself to your stupidity, then you start to say, okay, you're right. You start to, and I feel like a manager is like, he can have this approach to like say, oh, have you worked on your shit today? Oh, no, it's fine. No stress. Have you worked on your shit today? Have you worked on your shit today?
Yeah.
You need this kind of guy behind you, right?
I used to say no, but you do. You actually do. Because I used to say, it is my passion, right? At the end of the day. And I want to work when I want and do it when I want. But if you want to get to the next level as a musician, artist, or someone like that, you have to have discipline. You have to have someone that's going to push. You're not going to be that guy that says, like, some people are like that, some people are not. But you need to have someone that gives you
Discipline.
the extra drive. Like, hey, like, we need to deliver today. Like, always be on top of it. And, some people have the character of, like, they have the drive. I don't feel like I have that drive. So I need someone to help me, deliver. Like, hey, like, do it. What are you doing? Stay in the studio, finish projects. And I feel like a lot of artists are struggling in this aspect.
Talking projects, what is your future project? What is coming for you, Darmon?
So, pretty much right now, I have a few collaborations. I don't want to say with who. Big
This
players.
unreleased track strategy, right?
Correct. The reason why I don't want to say who is because I'm a perfectionist, and if I don't believe the track suits me and I'm not happy about it, I'm not going to release it.
100%.
You know what I mean? So that that being said, I would not want to say who's the project's with, because if it doesn't work out, then I just said it for no reason. You know
Yeah,
what I
100%.
So in one sense, yes, I have a lot of projects coming up, and hopefully they get released and be put out to the world for people to hear. But yeah, this is what I could share with you right now.
Okay, super secret, Darmon secret.
Yeah.
There is another track I want to talk about is Sitar.
Mm.
Bro, this track is phenomenal. And I would love to understand how you arrived to this infernal loop, like, and with these top leads on top of it. So how did you find this lead?
So me and Baron,
Yes.
Baron FR, because I think there's one more, but good friend of mine, very close, like a brother, stayed with me. He came from France. He was here for Basel last year, I think, or 2 years ago, and we were talking about making a collaboration. And we literally got in the studio. We locked ourselves in for like a week, and we created Elora, Sitar, and one more track.
Oh, Elora and Sitar was created at the same time.
Same time, same week.
Cool.
Well, actually, they were supposed to. Those two tracks, it was supposed to be an EP because they're kind of similar.
Yeah.
If you hear, sorry,
Please.
so they're check. We're back. So they're kind of similar, in if you hear the elements and the sounds that are infused in the drums and stuff like that. It was supposed to be an EP, but we ended up separating the two. And Sitar was actually the second track we made, and we made a third one that we didn't get released. Maybe in the future or whatnot. But Sitar was this kind of element project from Elora, and it was a big record. Like every time I play that record in a set, it's just like it's a big driving track. So keeps going.
It's a machine who roll and roll. And
Yeah.
And for people who are looking us, especially from music producers and everything, how a day of Darmon looks like? Like, what are your hobbies? Like, are you playing, like, I don't know, are you doing sport? What time are you waking up? Or what is your, like, daily routine, basically?
So I play paddle now. I
nice.
started lately.
Paddle, you mean the sport for the one who doesn't know how to play tennis?
Correct. Yeah, that's the one. But actually, it's a great sport. I love it.
No, I'm joking. It's an amazing sport.
Super fun. I picked that up recently.
Mm-hmm.
I play soccer, basketball. I love all sports.
Mm-hmm.
But my daily, when I wake up, my days are, I wake up at probably 10, 11. And I try to wake up early, but it's impossible.
It's still the morning. It doesn't count. It's still the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that, but some people don't think that, you know? I try to wake up early, but as I tell you, you're going to understand why I wake up at 10, 11. So I wake up, I have my routine. I'm big on coffee. I have a whole setup of a coffee machine, and I watch all these tutorials on TikTok, Instagram, and I try to become a barista, you know? So I make some good coffee, and I try to sit in the balcony, get some sun for at least an hour, and sort of not meditate, but just like chill out, relax. And then I start my day, and my days are very hectic, and I just start getting phone calls, because music is not the only thing I do.
Interesting.
I run a business. I own a business. I'm a business owner. And you know, music is mostly my hobby. That was my passion. if it becomes a bigger thing and I could support what I do with the music industry, then I would only do music. So I do other things such as like e-commerce and stuff like that. And I go about that until about 3, 4 p.m. And from 4 to nighttime, I either make music, play video games. Yeah.
What video games are you playing?
Oh my God, that's a funny Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I used
But
to play
I'm vi-
Warzone.
Okay, Warzone.
Yeah,
Yeah, I try to play, but I used to be big on it. But Fortnite is my game now. I get on with my boys. We all, hey, yo, you're on every like day. Sometimes because I work, on music. So
My business partner is a killer machine in Warzone, man. It's
yeah,
crazy.
It's-
Yeah. I literally stopped the game because of this guy.
Mhm.
Because even if I was training and everything, he was still stronger than me. And so I said, okay, stop this
So you
ridiculous game.
completely
Yeah.
stop. Oh yeah. So
I hate having my ass kicked, man.
so I'm like your friend. I'm pretty good at Fortnite. So if music doesn't go good, I'm probably gonna stream Fortnite. So
Still on Twitch.
correct. Yeah. Follow me, Darmon. Yeah. So yeah, I do that. But when I do work on music, you have a few parts of it where I check out what's new out there, download new plugins, read about new plugins. There's always processes that I do, kind of like I would start with like a little loop, and it could be an hour loop, and I would work on like the single like elements in that loop, and then from there like I just start building. Sometimes I go and sit in the studio until 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. Really
Wow.
depends, yeah. So it depends on the workflow. If I'm very creative and I'm just like everything, so it's like a puzzle, right? Putting sounds together. And if everything flows right and you actually are inspired with what you're making, you're going to not go to sleep. So there's that. That's why I do not have a normal schedule. It's always, if I go to sleep at 6 a.m., I'm not waking up at 8, right?
Of course.
So this is why my days are like that. And, I'll play paddle every now and then in between the days.
No, but it's funny because we're not talking about video games by hazard. You have no idea how the music in the video games have an influence on our people today, especially on myself. Like, I can literally having a direct emotion if I listen the music of, I don't know, Age of Empire or Assassin's Creed or The Witcher. Like, video games will mark me, and I'm pretty sure, and even Zelda, but I'm pretty sure that if a producer tomorrow start doing remixes, Afro House or anything of video game soundtrack, it can be viral. I'm pretty sure of that.
No, 100%. So music soundtracks, gaming soundtracks
Yeah.
could be like movie soundtracks.
100%.
So like my biggest movie inspiration music creator is Hans Zimmer. He's a genius.
Genius.
So I could see where like Assassin's Creed could be like with those kind of like soundtracks are kind of similar, it's literally just having a movie soundtrack in it. It's kind of the same. So you could actually infuse that with an Afro house, organic, or any of that. Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
Darmon, this podcast is going to be on internet. It's going to stay there forever. If you have a message to send to the new generation, or if you have a bottle to throw on the sea, what would be this message? Something inspiring.
I would say that you should always do what you love, because at the end of the day, you're doing it daily. If you're gonna become a lawyer, doctor, make sure you love it, because at the end of the day, you're gonna leave doing that every single day of your life. So I think it's a major aspect of your life. If you do what you love, you're gonna love living. You're gonna love waking up in the morning and enjoying your life, right? So I highly believe that you gotta do what you love.
And I feel like I 100% agree with you. and I feel like the most talented people in any area are so talented because they love what they're doing. You never had a Nobel Prize who say, "Oh, I had the Nobel Prize. Oh, because I had to do it." No, because he loved what he've done.
Yeah, again, if you love what you do, you're gonna enjoy your life. You're not gonna suffer 1 minute of it. You understand? So if for instance I wanna, cause as a music producer myself, I love doing it. But in this life, you have to do other things when you grow up, and you have to be pretty much how would I say it? What's the word for it? I forgot.
Implicated,
No. When you have to grow up and actually
mature.
mature,
Yeah,
you have to mature and be responsible,
yeah, real,
right?
yeah.
Responsible with
Be
your life.
responsible.
So you end up doing things that you do not like. You're gonna work at a corporation and keep your life kind of like alive. Like pay your bills and stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to make sure that if you're working for that corporation, I think that you should do it like in a timely manner. Like, don't stay there forever. Don't. Just go out there and do what you love, because it's gonna work out. You're gonna make it work out. Bet on yourself rather than someone else. You know what I mean?
I think we can end the podcast on this. Thank you very much, Darmon.
Of course.
Thank
Pleasure.
you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.